Morning students, now we'll see module 4. Your module 4 is about your wavelength division multiplexing concepts and the components that are going to be used. And the other half of your module 4 is your optical amplifiers. So first we'll see the overview of your wavelength division multiplexing. So why we go for the WDM techniques? So here the main problem in communication is for the increase there's a demand for massive increase in capacity. So to increase the capacity, what are the solutions that are available? The solutions are, the immediate solution is we can go for a dense wavelength division multiplexing. So if I want to increase the capacity as a long term solution, in that case I can go for optical fiber networks. So here more bandwidths. Our main requirement is to increase the bandwidth. So how the bandwidth can be increased? So it can be increased by going for your TDM, that is your time division multiplexing technique, or your wavelength division multiplexing technique. But when I go for a time division multiplexing technique, I can increase only the channel bit rate. So how channel bitrate is going to be increased is, you are going to take a signal code from a single laser wavelength. That is, we are going to take a single laser wavelength where you are going to have the different wavelengths there, and all these wavelengths are going to be multiplexed in a time division manner, and then it is going to be sent through the fiber, and then it is going to be propagated. So you can see that we are going to have different wavelengths. These wavelengths are going to be multiplexed in time domain, and we are going to send the signals. That means that only one signal is going to be propagated, and this signal is going to be time division multiplexed. So by doing this only I can increase the channel bit rate, but I want to increase the number of channels. So if I want to increase the number of channels, then I have to go for wavelength division multiplexing. So how this can be achieved is by going for extended transmission bandwidths. So by going for extended transmission bands, I can increase the channel capacity. So how in your wavelength division multiplexing, again I am going to take a single signal code from a multi-laser wavelengths. That is, the laser is going to have multiple wavelengths we are going to take, and all these wavelengths are going to be sent through the multiplexer, and these wavelengths are going to be passed through the fiber. So where the fiber, each wavelength, there is the each signal which is going to propagate through the fiber is going to be of different wavelengths. And if I want to increase the channel capacity or the channel density, what I am going to do is, the spacing between the wavelengths is going to be less than 1 nanometer. If the spacing between the wavelength is going to be less than 1 nanometer, then in that case the capacity of the fiber can be increased. That is, the number of channels that is going to propagate along the fiber can be increased. So this is the concept what we apply in wavelength division multiplexing. So here it is going to multiplex the optical carrier signals. The optical carrier signals are going to be multiplexed, and it is going to be sent on the output fiber there. Where in this output fiber we are going to have the different wavelengths. So the different wavelengths of the laser lights are going to carry the different signals there. So by doing this we can increase the capacity. So it allows multiplication in capacity, and the bidirectional communication over one strand of fiber can be done. So both the ways communication can be done. So bidirectional communications over one strand of fiber can be done, and we are going to achieve high bandwidth. So we say that ultra high bandwidth multi-channel system can be achieved. So this is a coupler. So to the coupler we are going to have the lasers, where the laser is going to produce different wavelengths. That is a multi-laser where it is going to provide different wavelengths, and these wavelengths are going to be coupled, and then it is going to be sent through the output fiber. So here in this case 3 wavelengths are going to be there. Then these 3 wavelengths are going to be separated with a minimum distance of about 1 spacing of about 1 nanometer there. So here your fiber exhaust. So how initially it was transmitted, and now how it is going to be done. So by using a 10 gigabits per transmitter, I want to send the data from the transmitter to the receiver. The bit size is going to be around 10 gigabits per second. So in this case I have to use the regenerator. So the regenerator is going to be used between the transmitter and the receiver, and this regenerator will regenerate the signal and send it to the receiver there. So instead what we can do is, instead of sending it as 10 gigabits per second transmitter, I can divide it as 2.5 gigabits per second transmitter. if if I segregate it as 2.5 gigabits per second transmitter, then I need 4 optical amplifiers there, and these optical amplifiers should be placed at a specific spacing between the transmitter and the receiver there. So the number of optical amplifiers that is required in the middle between the transmitter and the receiver is going to be increased. So here in this case, this is a disadvantage. So what we did is we went for your dense wavelength division multiplexing. So by going for a dense wavelength division multiplexing, all these 2.5 gigabits per second transmitter are going to be multiplexed, and all these are going to be sent as different wavelengths along the fiber, and at the receiver side we are going to have a demultiplexer which is going to separate out the signals and send it to the respective receivers there. So in this case I don't want to use a amplifier in the middle, and at the same time it can be transmitted to a longer distance there. Just only at the input side I need a multiplexer, and the output side I need a demultiplexer there. So main reasons for going for a wavelength division multiplexing is we need limited fiber strands. The number of fiber strands we require is going to be very less, and the bandwidth achieved is going to be very high, and we need not require amplifiers at longer distances there. So greater non-regenerated distances are going to be achieved. So the additional is we are going to have a wavelength division layer, multiplexing layer protection is also going to be enabled in your WDM techniques there. So here we say that your wavelength division multiplexing is the ability to combine the multiple sources of data using multiple wavelengths of light on one strand of fiber. So on one strand of fiber we are going to send multiple wavelengths, and each wavelength is going to consist of a different source of data there. So what is the powerful aspect of this optical fiber communication is these wavelengths are going to be sent along a single fiber. It is going to be in the range from 1300 nanometer to 1600 nanometer spectral band. So your WDM concept, if I am going to see, it is same. You are going to combine a number of wavelengths onto the same fiber, and the scheme is going to be same as that of your frequency division multiplexing, where frequency division multiplexing is going to be used in your radio and your microwave systems. But in your wavelength, wavelength division multiplexing, it must be properly spaced so that we can avoid the interchannel interference. So the overview of your wavelength division multiplexing is what is the advantage of going for the wavelength division multiplexing is capacity upgrade. Capacity upgrade is nothing but whatever is going to be the existing fiber networks. In that we can send a number of wavelengths, and each wavelength is going to support data rate of about gigabits per second. So in that case the number of data bits which I can transmit is also going to be more, and the number of channels is also going to be more without adding fibers there. So we say that capacity upgrade can be done. Next is transparency. Transparency is nothing but each optical channel is going to carry any transmission format there. So that means that different transmission formats can be sent as data, can be used to send the data there. So the different transmission formats can be at different asynchronous bit rates, or it can be analog or digital signal there. So next is scalability. So scalability is nothing but depending upon the requirement I can buy and install the equipment for additional demand. So in that case, without modification of the structure, I can add the equipment there. That is called scalability there. Next is your wavelength routing and switching. So wavelength routing and switching is, here the wavelength is going to be used as a dimension in time and space. That means that we can do a wavelength routing and switching. So wavelength routing means the link capacity and the flexibility can be increased by using multiple wavelengths. So when I am going to send multiple wavelengths through a fiber, the link capacity can be increased as well as the flexibility can also be increased. Next is wavelength switching. So wavelength switching is nothing but in your wavelength division multiplexing techniques, I can add or drop multiplexers, cross connect and wavelength connectors can be added or dropped there. So here I can use the devices add or drop multiplexers, cross connects and wavelength converters can be added in your circuit to do wavelength switching there. Thank you.